Hello, welcome back to the Fruit of Grisaia. All of a sudden, I noticed that 1 o'clock p.m. has come and gone. Bit of a surprise. I would have expected Michiru to come drag me with her away from by now. Deciding I might as well wait for her to show up, I reached out for another book. But for some reason, I find myself unable to concentrate. The ticking of my clock seems strangely loud all of a sudden. I can't maintain my usual focus on a printed word. Alright, suppose I might as well head over myself. Mumbling to no one in particular, I drop my book and head for Michiru's room. Michiru, you in there? It's about time, isn't it? I knock on the door and call out, but receive no response. There's always a possibility she had to leave on some pressing business, I suppose. If so, she could have at least said something to me, but, well, that's her choice to make. The girl can do as she pleases. You're that same cat, aren't you? The black cat that's recently spent most of its time fused to Michiru's skull pushes the door open, poking its face outside. If this animal's here, it seems quite possible that Michiru is still in her room as well. But she didn't respond to my voice at all. Some sort of trouble, maybe? Michiru, I'm coming in. When I reach out for the doorknob, the black cat pulls back in a panic. Seems the little beast still strongly dislikes me. I enter the room slowly, keeping an eye out for booby traps out of an abundance of caution. Inside, I find Michiru lying face down on her bed, breathing in the soft and regular manner of a contented sleeper. I was prepared for the possibility of something being seriously wrong, so I have to admit this is a bit of an anticlimax. Sleeping in, are we? And after all that squawking this morning, you're a carefree one. The cat hops onto the bed and licks Michiru's cheek repeatedly, but she doesn't even stir. Come to think of it, the girl tagged along for a full 15 kilometers of running yesterday, hardly surprising she'd be exhausted. It was no particularly impressive distance by my standards, but for a typical female student, I suppose it was a praiseworthy effort. Well, calling this woman typical strikes me as somewhat problematic, but I'll save that debate for another day. The cat and I look at each other and share their equivalent of a wry smile. Michiru's face appears to be resting on a fashion magazine. There's a picture of the outfit she wore yesterday circled in red permanent marker. Even after all that exercise, I'm getting the feeling she was up late last night, in which case it'd probably be more considerate to let her sleep instead of dragging her outside. I give the cat a single pet on the head, causing it to flee immediately, and turn to leave. Get some rest. We'll cancel today's date. Just go back to sleep, alright? No reason to push yourself. Michiru forces out the words while glaring weakly at me through half-open eyes. Her claims rendered even less convincing when she rises to her feet and promptly staggers to the side, very nearly trampling her pet.
ほらね、起きとるでしょうが。
Listen, just go back to bed. There's no reason to pointlessly exacerbate your exhaustion.
にゃ、そんなことない。拾ってない。ちょっと寝不足なだけ。
I see. How much did you get last night?
約8分。
8 minutes? That's not even a nap, woman. Get back in that bed and sleep long enough to secrete your growth hormones properly.
やだの、寝ないの。行くの、デート行くの。
Well, if you insist, let's get going, then. Make your preparations in the next 30 seconds.
無理です。
Suppose not. You have 5 minutes then. I'll wait outside.
行くかどうかなんてわからないけど、ってあげるんだからね。
Just how long will it take this girl to get a solid grasp on the tsundere concept anyway? In old movies, they often represented the time wasted waiting for women with a pile of cigarette butts on the ground. But these days, there's heightened social and legal pressure regarding both public smoking and littering, so that's become a pretty rare sight. What then can take the place of that image as visual shorthand for a man kept waiting by a woman? A red battery icon on the cell phone you've been using to browse the internet. Not really feeling the atmosphere from that one. In the first place, it's so easy to send messages these days that waiting in vain might well be a less frequent phenomenon than before. I'm still pondering these matters when Michiru appears, complete with cat hat. It's been exactly 5 minutes since I left her room.
お待たせ。待ったかしら。何よ、不満そうな顔して。何か文句でもあるの？
Didn't anyone ever tell you to arrive 5 minutes early to your appointments?
当たり前でしょ。5分で準備しろって言われて5分前行動できたら、それはもう何？それはもう何かじゃない。
Please define whatchamacallit.
なんかこう、時間を操る謎の人物？謎のタイムパラドクサー？
Okay, let's get going already. I'll leave you behind.
いやー、待ちなさいよね。あれ、本当に置いてかないでよ。待ってよ。というわけで考えました、デートプラン。
Good, let's hear it.
松島みちる様と行く0泊1日三島崎海の旅。
Michiru delivers the line with all the triumphant flair of a strutting peacock. The beach? We just went a few weeks ago.
いやね、あれはダメだ。なかったことにしたい。知ってる
？According to Michiru, while I was off swimming with Amane and Makina, she'd been forcibly enlisted by Sachi to help construct an ultra-massive work of sand art. And in the end, the enormous castle they'd spent hours creating ended up collapsing just before they finished, trapping her beneath.
私砂で身動き取れなくなって何にアムファルコンの船長かーっつうぐらい固まってねその上近所の子供にこれ以上は言えないとにかくひどかったんだから。
I see. Have to say, though, it's a bit of a boring choice from my perspective.
何言ってんのよ。二人なら楽しいよねぐらいのこと言いなさいよ。デートなんだから。
Pretend date, I believe.
ごっこだけどさ。
That said, I suppose you have a point. Just the two of us playing on the beach might not be bad. She does not know what the Millennium Falcon is from Star Wars. No.
本当に
That's gonna get points taken off from me, Michiru. No, but we're pretending, so I said it anyway.
そうですか。
And so, we set off walking for the nearest public beach, not rushing along, not fleeing anxiously. A simple leisurely stroll, not unpleasant in its own right. What's up?
なんでもないや。手つなごうか。
Hands? I see. We are on a pseudo date, so that seems appropriate.
ごっこだもんね。
When I reach out, Michiru momentarily jerks her hand away, but soon tentatively surrenders to my grasp. She's got a decidedly small hand, with rather thin fingers. On closer examination, there seemed to be a small white flecks in her nails. Are you eating properly? Your fingernails don't seem to be getting adequate nutrients.
あんたよりはマシなもの食べてるつもりだけど。
I'm not sure a diet consisting of cheap sweets and takeout lunches can really be described as healthy, my friend.
うっさいわね。てかそんな細かいとこまで見なくていいのよ。
True enough, this is a date after all. Alright then, I will now offer a more date-appropriate comment. You're wearing perfume, aren't you?
気づいた。
I smelled freesia and pink pepper at first, but now I'm getting heliotrope and iris, with a hint of sandalwood and synthetic musk underneath. I don't know what all that
わ
is.
かるの？
Ooh, okay. To some degree. Mostly intuition, though. Anyway, there's no need to wear perfume. You smell nice naturally. I take a lock of Michiru's hair in my free hand and gently stroke it. After a moment, I allow the strand of blonde hair to fall through my fingertips. It whispers against my skin as it goes. The cat watches me touch Michiru from its vantage point nearby, a supremely irritated look on its furry face.
いい匂いなんてしないもん。だって髪の毛色変えてるから、それの薬の匂いがするかなって思って。その
No, not really.
ね。
It's a lie. Like I said, I'm just pretending here. How many times do I have to say this? Why do you keep taking it seriously?
じゃあ私だって言うもん。ごっこだからね。これごっことしての発言。
I understood the first time. No need to repeat yourself.
友人にキスされた時ね。最初すごいびっくりしたの。いろいろ考えたけど答えが出なくて頭がぐるぐるになって。それでもどうしてだろうってずっと考えてて、わかんないからもういいや、気にしないやって思ったんだけど、 えようとしてないのにユージのことが頭から離れなくなったの。たった一度のキスでこんな風になるって私変なのかな。嘘だけどね。
Maybe it's because you're not used to it. I doubt it matters that I'm the one who did it. Anybody would feel a little awkward over a sudden kiss, and without much experience, I can see how it would weigh on your mind.
そっか。ユージは何とも思わないの？私とキスして。
That's right. Didn't mean a thing to me. It was just a moment of physical contact.
それはユージが経験豊富だから。だからたった一度私とキスしたぐらい特別じゃないってこと？
Yeah, that's the gist of it. No feelings attached.
そうなんだ。そっか。なんかだね。まあご上の発言だから嘘だけど。
I was lying too, actually.
え、嘘なの？なんとも思わないって嘘なの？
Hold on. Are you seriously planning to do this for every little thing I say? This is a pretend date, so don't take anything coming out of my mouth seriously.
ごっこだけど、どこからどこまでが嘘なのか。せめて今のとこは本気で。あ、いや。なんでもない。わかんないや。
Michiru scratches vigorously at her head in confusion and dismay. The cat, surprised by her sudden violent motion, leaps nimbly away.
まあいいか。今こうして一緒にいるんだし、こうして手をつないでるんだし。
Michiru strongly squeezes my hand as she speaks. The slightly sad look on her face belies her positive words. Seems my teasing has gone a little too far. Perhaps a conciliatory gesture is in order. Michiru, my friend, as this is a date, I happen to have a present for you.
本当に？なんで？ユージ。
Close your eyes and hold out your hands. After a quick scan of the area, I pick up a rock of moderate size. What? Why are you gonna turn your body? I then return and gently place this in Michiru's open hand. What?
何これ重いんだけど。あとゴリゴリしてんだけど。
Alright, you can open your eyes now. Michiru slowly opens her eyes. In her palm rests a majestic lump of stone.
石？
You've wanted that one for a while now, right? I picked it up for you.
わーい！これずっと欲しかった。ねえ、これごっこだから。ごっこだからプレゼントが拾った石なの。
Right, it's a pretend date, so you get a rock I picked up off the ground. Now, rejoice!
嬉しいよ、嬉しいよ。
I see, moved to tears of joy. Afterward, with comments such as, "This is the hot color for fall," or "They collaborated with another designer on this one," I proceed to present Michiru with rock after rock. And every time Michiru answers, "No way, I'm so happy," or "Yay, what a nice surprise," and accepts my gifts with a great show of gladness. I see, I see. Perhaps this dating thing is somewhat enjoyable after all. I offer rocks. Receive joy in return. A strikingly surreal spectacle, if I do say so myself. I doubt I'll soon forget the sight of Michiru's shark pouch bulging at the seams from its cargo of stone.
石重いよ。てかこれ中には岩って呼んだ方がいい大きさのもあるよ。
Just throw them away when we're done. They're only rocks.
わかってるわよ。やってきましたロミー。重い。
Having stowed her bag and changed into her swimsuit, Michiru joins me at the beach. Seems like the girl rented a large air mattress while she was at it. She's dragging it behind her, apparently struggling with the weight. It's a good distance from here to the beach house. Must have been relatively difficult carrying a float of that size all this way. Again with that swimsuit, huh?
いいじゃない別に。にしても今日はなんでか知らないけどすっごく空いてるよね。夏休みなのに珍しい。
This area isn't exactly flourishing, I guess. And when everyone thinks the beach must be packed today, sometimes barely anyone actually shows up. Not uncommon, actually.
ラッキーだね。さあマットも借りてきたしこれを浮かべて遊ぼう。誰にも邪魔されずに泳ぎ放題。あれなんでユージは制服着てるの？
The swimsuit by Bottle Blonde peers at me with innocent confusion on her face. She honestly seems to have only just noticed. Strange woman. Listen, you didn't tell me we were going to the beach until after we left the dorm. When exactly was I supposed to procure myself a swimsuit?
Ah, そっか。そうだね。 じゃあ向こうの海の家に戻って借りる？でもまた行くの面倒だな。ほらここは人もほとんどいないわけだし、ユージは男の子なんだし、裸でいいよ裸で。
Just as Michiru says, even by the standards of this mostly empty beach, we found ourselves a particularly isolated spot. Oh, okay. If nobody's going to notice anyway, going in naked might be a suitably carefree approach. True enough. Alright, I'll do that. Well then.
ちょうどユージ今のはね
It's you, my friend. Now I'm now naked. Something wrong? Why are you looking away?
いやその別になんでもないんだけ
Are
ど
they actually doing this? Something strange about my body?
いやないですないありません
I see. Well, if you notice anything odd, feel free to let me know. 島の中に変な音が響く変なファンファーレが Fanfare?
気にしないことにするそうよ私が変な風に考えるからいけないのよだって人間だもの誰だって
What's wrong?
ごめんやっぱりせめてパンツだけは履いてくれないから頭の中に深刻なエラーが発生しそうで
If that's so, very well then. Don't understand what you're getting all red in the face about, though. Weird girl.
変じゃないもん 変なのはユージだもん。
Her face still flushed. Michiru runs energetically toward the shining summer sea. I trot along behind her into a sheet of warm spray. She looks back over her shoulder.
Yuuji! 私を捕まえてごらんなさい。
And delivers an appropriate playdate line. I break into an all-out dash and catch Michiru in less than a second with a flying tackle.
なんで倒すのよ。こういう時はおいおい待てよみたいな感じじゃないの。
My apologies. When told to catch someone, I feel it would be impolite not to make my best efforts to do so.
誰に？
Michiru's astute question returns me to my senses. Indeed, who exactly would I let down by allowing the girl to escape? I'm constantly obeying instructions handed down to me. My own will has no relevance. I simply carry out the task assigned to me. But today, I'm under no such obligation, and still I wag my tail on request. How pathetic. Seems I've been domesticated right down to my bones. You have a point. Hardly any reason to stay tense at a time like this.
そうよ、もっと気楽にやってよね。ってことで、もう一度私を捕まえ。おー、早い！タックルまでが早い。
Sorry, pure reflex.
ユージってば、子供みたい。はしゃいじゃって。
That's not really the issue, but whatever. After that, we enter the sea and spend some time splashing around in the water, with no particular objective in mind. We mess around in the waves and swim idly under the sun's glowing rays. I think you could describe it as an afternoon well spent. Michiru has a cheerful smile on her face the whole time.
ユージってば、やっぱり泳ぎもうまいね。
This is more like waiting, really. Have to say, you seem pretty tired yourself.
そんなことないわよ。不足なだけ。8分。
So you're insufficiently rested after all. Maybe a brief nap's in order?
でも寝るとこないよ。あ、ここで少し寝てみようかな。海の上で寝るとか贅沢じゃない？
Oh, there's a thought. Michiru carefully lies herself face down on the plastic sea mattress, apparently anxious about her bathing suit riding up. She sticks in a finger and tucks down on the cloth numerous times.
さすがに揺れますね。落ちそう。
Don't you sleep on your back?
それはそうだけど、お布団がない状態で仰向けに寝るのってなんか怖くない？守るものがないって感じで。私、どんなに暑くても布団絶対かぶって寝る。何もないと無防備すぎる。敵が来た時に守れないじゃない。
Who's this enemy supposed to be? I sort of get what you're saying, but the logic's a little incoherent.
そうかな。ユージなら分かってくれると思ったんだけど。ああ、そうだ。しばらくこうしてるなら日焼け止め塗らないと。
Alright, I'll put it on for you. We are pretending, after all.
ねえ、それ本気で言ってるの？
Of course, you can't cover your entire body by yourself, now can you? all in the hand. Isn't making people do this sort of thing for you to send your way?
うんじゃあ手伝ってよね。サメ吉の中に入ってるから。
Sameki, oh, that pouch. I retrieved the bottle of sunblock from Michiru's shark pouch. When I take off the cap and tilt it toward my hand, a thick white liquid emerges and globs. I have this thought every time, but the stuff looks just like some kind of bodily fluid, doesn't it?
言わなくていいのよ、そういうことは。黙ってんのって。塗りなさいよね。
Understood. Here goes. As promised, I begin to spread the lotion along the exposed portions of Michiru's body. Perhaps she finds the summer sun hot, as her skin's already growing sticky with sweat.
ねえ、いつも思うって言ってたけど、ちょくちょく日焼け止めを女の子に塗ったりするの？
Not quite. When you're somewhere that gets really intense sunlight, this stuff is a necessity. In Japan, it's usually nothing worth worrying about, but depending on the country, you can end up with debilitating or even fatal sunburns.
そうなんだ。
What's wrong? That tickle?
ちょっとぐらいは大丈夫なんだからね。ねえ、もう一個聞いていい？
What?
日焼け止めを塗って海に入ったりして環境汚染につながったりしないのかな？
Some people will probably tell you the stuff's helping to kill the world's coral reefs, but the cosmetics companies would probably say typical use won't cause any adverse impacts. There are various opinions depending on how you look at it. It's not a question that can be answered simply and decisively either way.
ユージってさ、何でも知ってるよね。
Not true. The world's overflowing with things I don't know. For example, if you ordered me to hum a tune from the current #1 musician on the Japanese charts, I probably need some time. I thoroughly and gently spread the sunblock across the back of Michiru's body. When I'm satisfied with my handiwork, I give her a light smack on the rear and speak. Alright, other side. Flip over.
上って上？それ冗談よね。
Why so reluctant, woman? If you want to turn into a rubber-sized stone, having your front and back completely different colors would probably seem slightly unnatural.
そうじゃないけど、上はさすがに抵抗が。
Quit whining and flip over. Here we go.
うわ、これちょっと恥ずかしいんだけど。
Wait, is she in the ocean while he's doing this too? Don't squirm too much, you'll fall off.
だってうわ揺れる。
Trembling like a newborn fawn, Michiru reluctantly settles her body face up on the mattress.
いや、あんた何見てんのよ。見ないでよね。
The girl tries her best to put up a tough front after the fact, but it's comically unconvincing. Her delivery is so strained and artificial you'd think she was reading the words off a script. We done squawking now? I'm ready to put this stuff on you, if that's alright.
うん。
Michiru finally grows docile, apparently resigned to her fate. Taking the bottle of sunblock in hand, I squirt out another glob and begin applying it to her lower body. The girl darts her eyes back and forth restlessly, looking at anything but
なんで下から塗るんですか？
because it's closer to me, no other reason.
そうですか。
What's wrong? Feeling anything?
何を言ってるの？
I wasn't implying anything strange, just wondering if you're feeling the sunblock starting to work.
ああ、そういう。そんなのわかんないよ。ぬるぬるしてるだけだし。
I lathered her white liquid across her thighs, the back of her knees, and her ankles, thoroughly coating every inch of exposed skin. I can feel Michiru's white leg hair sticking flat against her skin as I rub the lotion. Apparently this bothers the girl somewhat, judging by the anxious little glances she's now sending in my direction. What's wrong? Self-conscious about the hair?
だって産毛って処理していいかわかんないし、剃ると濃くなるって言うし。
I think we already talked about this. Anyway, when you shave, you're cropping off the light, thin part of the hair, leaving behind the fat roots at the surface of your skin. That's what makes it look thicker for a while. It's not like you're really getting any hair either.
そうなの？本当に？じゃあこれから剃る。剃らない方がいいのかな？
Don't ask me why. Do what you want. A little fuzz on your legs is hardly anything worth worrying about either way. Alright, time for the upper body. I resume my systematic lotion smearing campaign, tracing my hands from Michiru's shoulders down to her upper arms, through the elbow all the way to her fingertips. With every stroke, she wiggles her body and lets out a little sigh. Little sighs. So, what's wrong? Feeling anything?
日焼け止めの効果？
No, I was referring to physical pleasure.
そんなわけないでしょ。いいから早く塗りなさいよね。
Shouting in protest, Michiru lifts her upper body from the float, and in an instant, a wave comes rolling in alongside her.
あれ？
Tumbling from her plastic perch, she falls headfirst into the sea. Well, that works too. They say being in the water reduces your exposure to UV radiation. For some reason, this news doesn't seem to cheer Michiru up much. Her twin tails float limply on the surface of the sea like two pitiful strands of oddly colored seaweed. I've never put sunscreen on while in the ocean. By the time Michiru manages to drag herself back to the beach, her skin's taken on a warm red glow. Guess I really should have finished the job after all, huh?
うるさいわよ。だってあんな。もうバカ。
Well then, what shall we do with ourselves? There's still plenty of daylight left. Want to try a triathlon next?
やらないです。私はもう今日は帰る。疲れた。
I see. Alright then, I'll walk you back to the dorm.
本当に？
Yeah, this is a date after all of sorts.
ああ、そうか。そうだよね。やっぱりいいや。
Michiru delivers this answer with a strangely forlorn expression on her face. Why's that? Aren't we pretending?
そうなんだけど、それはいい。なんか寂しくなっちゃう。なんでもない。それじゃあまたね。
Well, later works for me. But from the way things look, it's going to be another titanic struggle for her to get that float back to the beach house. Is her refusal to even try asking me for help another aspect of the tsundere act? Or perhaps the girl's just helplessly awkward? What's truth and what's fiction? Is this real or a dream? Where am I? Where aren't I? All of a sudden, many things feel unclear to me. Every once in a while, when I'm alone, I abruptly lose my bearings. Is it really alright for me to be here, to keep on living like this? My doubts gather into a dense mass of uneasiness that threatens to swallow me up like a black hole. I came to this school under the pretense of being a student, but I'm still myself. No matter how carefully I smooth down my surface, the real me isn't going to just disappear. So when Michiru came to me with her pretend lover's proposal, deep down I was more relieved than exasperated. Now I have an excuse to live a lie. But this hasn't proven quite so straightforward. It's just a game, isn't it? Plain and simple. And yet, sometimes the simplest things can be surprisingly difficult to fully understand. To be honest, I'm more than a little perplexed at the moment. My real feelings seem to have gotten lost in some obscure fold of my brain, and I'm not having much luck finding them again. And I'm pretty sure she's feeling the same way. What's real and what's make-believe? Who am I and who aren't I? Michiru has been dropping by my room on more or less a daily basis recently. Her objective, of course, is to drag me out on pretend dates. Although I agreed to play along with the intention of killing some time, my thoughts on the matter are gradually growing muddled and unclear to me. Why exactly do I keep humoring her like this? You could call this a mutual crime, I suppose. We're both play-acting feelings that aren't real, collaboratively perpetuating a fantasy. Michiru has finally gotten to the point of barging right into my room without even feeling self-conscious about it. But that's the product of my deliberate decision not to lock the door. Am I being too soft on the girl? Nothing. But isn't it about time? Isn't it about time we ended this relationship? But if I put it that way, it sounds like we're talking about a real breakup. There shouldn't be any need to take this game so seriously. What's that supposed to be? Abandoning my flustered companion, I abruptly exit my room. Why does this feel so uncomfortable? It's like I'm living inside a man-made miniature garden, with some cosmic voyeur watching me from far above. What now? Look, I agreed to play house with you, but there are limits.
なくと言ってユージだって楽しんでるくせに。
I open my mouth to refute her, but find myself at a loss for words. The snappy retort I was expecting just doesn't come. Well, where do you want to go then?
行ってからのお楽しみです。またお弁当作っていこう。
Not necessary. I don't want to spend that much time.
なんだよもう。わかりました。じゃあいつものように外で待っててね。
While waiting for Michiru, I reflect on the fact that our classmates will be returning to the dorm soon. Once they're back, will Michiru revert to her original tsundere state? Will we go back to the normal routine, as if this time we spent together never happened? Not that it's really any of my concern, it's her problem.
お待たせダーリン。
Darling, even for the sake of authenticity, I'm pretty reluctant to start calling you honey.
いいのよ別に。私が気分を盛り上げたくて嘘で言ってるだけなんだから気にしないで。
Easy for you to say. Darling, huh?
それじゃあ歩きましょう。最近ユージに付き合って結構歩くようになったから少しウエスト緩くなった。
I doubt there's been that significant a change in a few days. Let's see here.
あ、今胸見たでしょエッチ。
No, I did not. I looked at your waist and then at your cat.
猫の胸エッチエッチっていうかこ
What?
の子はオスなのかしら
What?
なのかしら。
It's male.
なんで知ってるの？
Why would you think that? Because I looked.
見たのかよおい。どこ見たんだよおい。
Rest assured, there is no funny business involved. When I was injecting, well, it's hardly important.
注射？あ、そうだよね。ユージってこの子にワクチン注射打ってくれたんでしょ？
Did Chizuru spill the beans?
うん。絶対内緒にしてねって言われたけどね。実はユージって結構優しいよね。だから好き。
Honestly, are there any words so all as a woman's just between the two of us?
どうしたユージ？
Pipe down. Come on, let's get going.
ああ待ってってば。どこ行くか私しか知らないはずなのに。 やっぱりここって落ち着く。
In a less than totally unpredictable development, the destination Michiru guides me to is the usual clearing overlooking the sea. Michiru, my friend, I'm going to be blunt. Why are you so attached to this place?
それは
Michiru slowly licks her lips with her tongue, then looks me straight in the face and smiles.
ない。
No reason? Even though you come here at every possible opportunity, you expect me to believe you have no reason for doing so?
ああ、ないっていうのは適切じゃないな。つまりこの場所は綺麗だし、すごく遠くまで見えるし、空気が美味しいし、猫ニャーとも出会えたし、それから空が高いし。好きなんだけど。
I have a feeling that today I'm finally going to hear about whatever it is Michiru has been hiding from me. Therefore, as the girl hems and haws, I simply wait patiently. So as not to let some crumb of truth blow away in the wind, I shield my ear with a hand and sit quietly waiting.
あとね、友達のことを。にゃ
Michiru finally manages to just barely squeeze out the words. And wait, at the same moment, her cat gives a small cry.
この場所に来るとすごく大事な友達のことを思い出すんだ。別にここで何かあったわけじゃないんだけどね。
I see. And is this friend of yours now a source of distress?
いいよ、そんな話は。
Michiru clears her throat with a little cough, brushing her previous comments off the table of conversation.
ありがとうね。デートごっこすごく楽しい。でもちょっと怖いなって思う。こんなに楽しくて毎日笑ってて、そんな風に生きる資格があるのかなって。私はもっと世界の端っこでちっちゃく呼吸しながら生きなきゃいけないんじゃないの？そう思っちゃう。
The black cat repeatedly circles around Michiru's legs in search of attention, but the girl's so caught up in her little monologue that she doesn't even seem to notice.
ユージがごっこでもデートしてくれて嬉しいんだよ。猫ニャンもいるし。でも全部これは嘘で、夢で、いつか消えちゃうんじゃないかなって思う自分もいる。今は箱を外から見ているだけで、蓋を開けたらここで最初から何もなかったんだよってならないか。それが怖いの。ねえ、私って最近変じゃない？私は私でいられる？ちゃんと私のままでユージと一緒に過ごせてる。こんなこと聞くなんておかしいよね。自分でも分かってるんだ。でも怖いの。ねえユージ、私は私。
I put a hand in Michiru's cheek and feel the temperature of her skin. The girl before my eyes is, without a doubt, the Michiru I know. No more, no less. But it's also true that another Michiru appears occasionally in her place. I know basically nothing about the girl, not why she became this way, not what it means. And no matter how many pseudo-dates we accumulate, I'm not going to get any closer to that answer. There are some places role-playing can't take you. You're you, same as always. There's nothing strange about you. I think I've told you this before, but you worry too much.
気にしなくていいのかな。私ちゃんとできてる？いろんなことちゃんとできてる？
All of a sudden, Michiru's eyes are tinged with tinged
私
with
バ
red.
カだからよくわかんないの。ねえ、ユージも私をバカだと思う？デートごっこして本気で喜んでユージのこと多分すごい好きで、そういうのって嫌い？
Not really.
それも嘘。
No, don't get too paranoid on me, alright? Take this at face value. You're fine just the way you are.
そのままの私ってなんだろう。よくわかんないんだ。
Michiru blinks rapidly, and a single large teardrop rolls down her face. No others follow.
私ね、ユージとデートしてる時にずっとこのままだったらいいなって思ったの。ずっと今日が続けばいいなって。だって嘘のデートごっこでも終わりが来なければそれが本当でしょ。だから終わるのが怖い。
I see, but pretending has its advantages. No matter what happens, you can pass it off as a joke. Nobody has to get hurt.
うん、そうかもしれないね。でも、怖いな。猫ニャーがいなくなるのが、ユージがどっか行っちゃうのが、友達が、みんなが消えるのが怖い。
As the words leave her mouth, Michiru slowly squats down to finally pet the black cat at her feet. Somehow, the movement reminds me of an elderly musician lovingly attending to their instrument.
楽しければ楽しいほど怖くなる。この楽しさは本物なのかなって。そうなんじゃないかなって。だから、
Wow.
私、よくわかんない。
I'm struck by the need to reassure Michiru. Setting aside my own complex circumstances and uncertain feelings, I want to do something for the girl crying in front of me. This is really making me wonder about the situation they're in right now, because they're alone here only because the other girls left. More than a little presumptuous of me, yes, but I simply can't bring myself to stay silent. So this makes me ask, should he make a move on her before they get back, or after? You're not wrong, Michiru, most things do come to an end, but that's in an instant. Her hand's still moving through the cat's fur, and Michiru changes. I swallow the words that were about to leave my mouth and carefully observe her. Hmm.
だがそれは何？
The girl before my eyes was no longer the Michiru I wanted to comfort. You again? You always show up at just the right moment, don't you? Michiru offers me a dry, unamused little laugh, then moves her arms carefully back and forth as if testing the parts that compose her.
どうした？どうしたのかしらね、私。ああ、お礼を言わなくちゃね。ありがとう、この子とデートしてくれて。君も素直じゃないもんね。結局デートごっこっていうややこしい形になったけど、この子はすごく喜んでる。ありがとう。でもね、だから困ってるのよ。思ったよりも、この子本気だったの。
Michiru brushes her bangs out of her eyes, then tugs on the hem of her dress, very uncomfortable.
こんな服まで用意して、ちょっと男にこびすぎじゃない？まあ、それは私の趣味じゃないってだけかもしれないけど、努力は認める。ちょっとね、まずくない？
I really don't know if it would be better for him to make the move before or after they get back. I don't follow.
つまりさ、君はこの子を安心させたいと思ってる。そうでしょ。この子とずっと一緒にいることができる？ずっと離れないでいることができる？永遠に守ることができる？
Instead of answering, I squeeze my clenched hands a little tighter. It would be easy enough to object, but the girl has a plan.
ユージ君は仕事柄、学園を離れることだってあるでしょ？その時の寂しさをどう紛らわせてくれるの？君のいない夜、この子は誰にすがればいい？どれだけのって思う？そうなる前に逃げましょう。遊びはおしまい。
The girl claps her hands together firmly. The strangely dry sound hangs in the air for a moment. The black cat, alarmed, darts off into the grass. Michiru, my friends. Lacking a better alternative, I venture to call the girl in front of me by that name. You talk about the end like it's inevitable, but some things do last forever. Of course, the vast majority don't, but that's not a reason to give up looking. No matter how minuscule the odds may be, eternity does exist. It might take a borderline miracle to find it, but you can't deny it's there. Michiru twists her face as if she's taken a bite out of a particularly sour lemon.
ユージ君ってそんなこと言う人なんだ。そうね、確かに否定はできない。誰にも奇跡を否定することはできない。でもそうやって都合のいい言葉に甘えたら、結局最後に傷つくのはこの子なのよ。君が奇跡を起こさなかったら、ただ奇跡を夢見て裏切られて終わっていくの。そういう悲しいことってある？私はちょっと残酷だと思うな。
The beautiful scenery, the pleasant wind, all of it seems to have abruptly drained of color and flavor. I can't find an effective response to her words.
この子は君とずっと一緒にいたがってる。この子と君をデートさせてあげることがこの子のためになるかと思ったけど、違うんだ。お願いだから、この子のことを傷つけないでね。
I have no intention of hurting her, but when you're that afraid of getting hurt... As the words are leaving my mouth, Michiru's body language softens and the expression on her face changes. I instantly sense that the girl I know has returned.
Ma, ちょっとクラッてした。
Michiru grins brightly, but once she notices my grim expression, the smile quickly fades from her face. Her eyes full of uneasiness, she tentatively opens her mouth.
私、なんか変なこと言った。もしかして、また。
Her lips begin to tremble. It's obvious that the girl's genuinely afraid. She has the expression of a child who's looked down into a deep, dark well.
やっぱりか。そうなんだね。そうなんだよな。なんでかな。私が大切だって思ったり、必要だと感じると消えちゃうの。そう思うと遠くへ行っちゃう。だからそんなこと思わない方がいいんだよね。このまま楽しい時が続けばいいなんて思っちゃダメなんだよね。私夢なんて見ちゃダメなんだ。
Instead of answering, I silently wrap my arms around Michiru and hug her tightly. A very abrupt action on my part, to be sure, but it felt like the thing to do. Michiru's breath catches in her throat. I can faintly feel her pounding pulse through her skin. I can't find anything to say to her right now. I don't know what she's gone through, or where these anxieties came from. I feel her suffering like it's my own. My emotions and hers seem to have rolled up into a hopelessly tangled mess. To be honest, I don't have the first idea what to tell her. And therefore, guided by sheer instincts, I decide to come out and say something that's been on my mind for a long time now. This isn't the time for false happiness or hollow consolation. Right now, she needs truth. Michiru, my friend, there's something I've been wanting to tell you. You mind?
Nani?
I don't know what I should say to you right now, so I'm going with this.
分かったから早く言ってよ。怖いことじゃないよね。しんどりしちゃうことじゃないよね。
Not sure.
分かった。覚悟する。はい、言って。早
That
く。
cat, you're calling it Kittymeow, aren't you? Well, you're god awful at naming things. I'll say it again. You are terrible at naming things.
何それ今それ普通今のタイミングで言う指摘するにしても
Weren't you listening to me? I didn't know what to tell you, so for the time being, I decided to say something that's been on my mind for a while.
まず伝えてみたじゃないでしょ。今のだって結構その
The timing might have been somewhat odd, granted, but they're sincere words. Try to calm yourself, alright?
混乱するでしょ。まったくもう何考えてんだか。ユージって本当に意味わかんない。
Michiru laughs, a hint of cheerfulness returning to her voice. Her deeply sorrowful expression gives way to the same straightforward smile I saw yesterday. I deliberately chose to play for time. As a temporary stopgap measure, I simply shifted the topic away from potentially problematic subjects. I don't know if that was the right decision, but I didn't want to make some half-done insincere promise just to bring Michiru momentary reassurance. It'd be easy enough to lie to the girl and make her feel like the problem's been solved. But that wouldn't be genuine progress. It will backfire, in fact. And so I stalled her. I put off the inevitable for now. I decided that a little more time would be necessary to resolve this problem, and now I have it.
あのね、猫にゃんは名前じゃないよ。
It isn't, but you're constantly calling me
だって猫って呼ぶわけにはいかないでしょ。にゃーって鳴くから猫にゃー。
that. So if you was a dog, it'd be doggy bark?
そういうこと。だって名前つけたくなかったな。さっきも言ったけど、私の大切なものってすぐどこかに行っちゃうから。だからそうならないように。名前なんてつけたら関係性ができちゃうでしょ。それが怖かったの。
I see. That explains it. But there's no harm in naming the animal. You should reconsider.
いいのかな、そんなことして。
Profoundly shocked by my proposal, Michiru hesitates. But honestly, she's so transparently attached to the animal that sticking with this purely functional non-name seems both awkward and pointless.
もし名前をつけて その瞬間にどうかなっちゃうことない？
Not impossible, but it strikes me as exceptionally unlikely. I know. Why don't I propose a name for the little beast? Let's see here. Rommel has a nice ring.
やだ何それ、ずっと言ってるよね、ロンメルって。全然可愛くないんだけど。
Cuteness was a requirement? I see. I'm too used to thinking of names as purely practical signifiers, I suppose.
そもそもロンメルって何なの？
A general.
将軍か。いや、将軍である必要はないからね。ロンメル禁止です。どこの馬の骨ともわからない将軍なんて。
Oh, woman, Rommel's no hole in the ground. Listen up, Rommel was an officer of the German army known as the Desert
いい
Fox
の、ロンメルに対して詳しく知りたいわけじゃないから。そもそも砂漠のキツネってこの子は猫でしょ。シャーキャー
I see. If you're that opposed, I guess there's nothing for it. Alright, how about this one? Erwin.
エルビー？いやちょっと可愛いじゃない。それなんとなく素敵な気がする。
Officially, it's somewhat longer. Erwin Johannes.
エルヴィン・ヨハネス？
Erwin Johannes Yugen
ロン
Rommel.
メルじゃん
What?
シャー
Alright then. All joking aside, go ahead and name him as you see fit.
自由にって言われると困るんだけど。ね、こういうのはどうかな。
Michiru bashfully rubs her thighs together and speaks with a clear hand of embarrassment in her voice. She does not like the name Rommel.
ニャンメルというのはいかがですかね。
Bruh.
即答いいじゃないニャンメル。
How did you arrive at this name? Walk me through the thought process here.
それはそのユージがね、ロンメルロンメルって言うから、よっぽど思い入れがあるのかなって思ってね。
Not in the slightest. It was just the first thing that popped into my head.
そうでね、猫ニャーとロンメルでニャンメルっていうのがいいかな。
Michiru looks up at me, clearly looking for approval. In response, I offer her my honest opinion on the matter. Do it. A cat name, a name can be anything really. What matters is the fact that you're the one who named it. As of today, that cat belongs to you.
そっか、じゃあそうする。どうニャンメル、新しい名前無視。
Well, I doubt it could care less.
ちなみにだけど、一応だけど、念のためだけど聞いちゃいますけど、ユージはどう思った？あ、率直に言ってね、率直に。
How many times are you going to make me repeat myself? When it comes to naming things, you are horrible. Kittymeow was good, though.
率直すぎるでしょ。ねえ、ちょっと。にゃ
Well, whatever the name, there's no changing what's already been decided. Alright then, why don't we head back?
ねえ、ユージ。手つないでいいよね。ほら、一応まだデートごっこだし。
Before I can even tell her I don't mind, Michiru clings to my arm.
ありがとう、ユージ。 私の世界のパーツが一つ増えたみたい。
Good for you. Collect enough of those and maybe you can piece together a world that belongs to you alone. It's up to you what gets included.
そうだね。
Alright then, let's get going with Mila Pavlichenko.
ちょっとニャーメルだってば、名前全然変わるじゃない。ニャーメルも返事しないの。ねえねえあはは、もう。そうだ、ビスケットあげるからね。だから懐きなさい。より私に懐きなさい。ビスケット好きか。そっかそっか。よーしよしよし、わしわしゃ。
Today, Michiru obtained a new piece of herself, but we can't forget that none of her problems have really been resolved. Still, the girl's begun to walk on her own 2 feet, if only within the bounds of any cool fantasy. As for myself, the words of the other Michiru still weigh heavily on my mind. If eternity doesn't exist, what can I do for a girl who wants something permanent? Easy enough to sulk and say it's all meaningless in the end, but with that mindset, we'll never even crack open the door to her world. One more. The newly designated Meowmel has officially become a component of Michiru's world. In commemoration, the girl brought pricey white meat from some pet food store, and after breaking it up into tiny chunks, fed it to the cat in question. Of course, the finicky little beast barely ate half the bowl before turning up its nose and wandering off. But Michiru smiled happily nonetheless, even as she complained about her friend's high-class tastes. The girl looked deeply gratified. It was an unpleasant little scene. I doubt any objective observer would take me for an average student, but in the time I've spent with Michiru recently, I think we may have become a fairly convincing ordinary couple. Oh, even if it is nothing but a game.
ニャーメルニャーメルニャー。あ、いたいた。なんであんたユージの部屋にいるのよ。いつも私の部屋にいるくせに。にゃー。いや、にゃーじゃなくてね。わかる？っていうかユージ、ニャメルってどれくらい言葉を理解できるの？
I was reading quietly in my room, but that seems to be at an end. Not only Michiru, but even her pet are now barging in here whenever they feel like it. That said, the cat's still wary of me. Whenever I approach, he runs off and hides. Don't understand why he comes to my room for the express purpose of fleeing. The animal's a more convincing tsundere than his master ever was. Yeah, I'm listening. Are you asking about this creature's particular capabilities, or the linguistic intelligence of cats in general?
Huh? あれよ。とにかくどれぐらい話通じるのってこと。
Well, let's see. To simplify somewhat, I think he understands about as much as you do.
そんなに？ほとんど人間じゃな
So you're not?
いや、私は人間だけど、そうじゃなくて、そのまあ頭のいい子ってことだよね、私と違って。
Well, it's impossible to really understand the thoughts of someone you can't hold a conversation with. Even among fellow human beings, a difference in language can lead to pointless conflict.
だからそういう難しい話がしたいんじゃなくて、ただ単にニャーメルのことをね。
I wasn't trying to be obtuse. It's a simple question of how we communicate our intentions to each other. Very basic stuff.
そうですけどね。もういいです。
Her cat still perched on her head. Michiru approaches me timidly, a frown on her face. But it's an exaggerated performance. I can tell that she's not actually too unhappy at the moment.
あのね、ユージ。楽しいです、毎日。
That's so? Guess your make-believe game was a wise choice.
あ、そうだね。おままごとを発明した子供を呼んでニャーメル賞を差し上げたいや。さ、こうずっとデートごっこしてるわけだけど、今もごっこ中？
Sure. Not like we've been drawing a clear line, so that works for me.
ってことは、私彼氏の家に遊びに来ちゃったみたいなことか。
Not sure I necessarily infer that dating someone means they're your boyfriend.
いいの、定義しなさい。だとしたら、こう、ユージも彼女を部屋に呼んじゃったみたいな感じになるんだよね。
I guess you could interpret it that way.
やべ、自分で言ってドキドキしてきちゃった。
You're a strange one. Want some water?
いらない。
I see. Think I'll have some myself. I take a bottle of mineral water from the fridge, pour a glass, and gulp down a mouthful. The cool liquid slides pleasantly down my gullet.
あ、やっぱちょうだい。
Sure, not a problem. Wait a second, I'll get you a glass.
それでいい。
Michiru snatches the glass from my hands and hesitantly examines it, seemingly uncertain where to put her mouth. In the end, she squeezes her eyes shut and chugs down the rest of the water. You're not a child, alright? Don't start squawking about indirect kisses just because our lips smashed against the same piece of glass.
そういうことじゃないの。
I retrieve the glass from Michiru's clutches, leave it in the sink, and take a seat on the bed. Michiru falls, lowering herself to sit at my side. What's with you?
いや、恋人同士って二人きりになったらどんなことするのかな。
Okay. Something the matter?
いや、なんていうかですね。
When a young man and woman find themselves alone behind closed doors, it's a perfectly natural outcome. All the more so for a romantic couple. Don't they seek out privacy for that express purpose?
わかんない。わかんないっす。
bright red all the way to her ears. Michiru lowers her eyes from my face. Well, suppose it's understandable. It may be the truth, but I'm being pretty frank about it. Well, want to make pretend love?
やだ、そんなのできるわけないじゃん。そういうのはちゃんとしないとダメでしょ。
That's probably the proper attitude, yes. Alright then, let me ask you this instead. This may be a game, but you still voluntarily paid a private visit to your boyfriend's room. What did you have in mind?
それはそうだな。手をつないだりとか。
I immediately seize one of Michiru's hands. Okay, done. Anything else?
そうですね。これはしないよ。しないけどね。でもチュッてしたりとか。
A kiss, huh? Where?
ほっぺとかもう少し先で耳とか。でも違います。そういうことじゃないんですけど、耳ってくすぐったいからなんかいたずらっぽい感じで。
I see. But we're not actually going to do it, are we? Since this is just pretend and all.
しない。あとはたくさんお話できればそれでいい。満足だと思う。
I see. That's not much different from the normal routine. But if that's good enough for you, I don't mind.
でも
Apparently perturbed by Michiru's constant vacillating, the cat leaps down from her head and runs off to hide under something.
ね、キスしたい。
But we're not going to, right? Since this is only pretend.
はい。ごっこだけどね。ごっこだけどしたい。
You sure?
する？
Even as she speaks, Michiru inches away from me. Well, she's the one who asked. I reach over and grab the girl's shoulder, gently pulling her back toward me in order to comply with her request.
何？
We are kissing, aren't we?
するけど、もう今早くない？
Here goes.
ちょっと待って。
Squirming inside my arms, Michiru turns her face away from mine. Soon enough, she's made up an excuse.
急にされるのやだ。ちゃんと気持ちの準備したい。
Understood. I'll wait for you. So let me know when your preparations are complete.
この状態で顔近くない？
I'll be returning to point blank range soon enough anyway. Backing off now would just be a waste of time.
そういうものですか。はい。
I observe Michiru's face from a few centimeters away. Her cheeks are alarmingly red. Her chest heaves violently with every breath. One would almost suspect a sudden illness of some sort, but I suppose the girl's just extremely tense. We get to go.
いいよ。
As soon as the girl finally gives me the go-ahead, I close the distance between us and cling her lips without hesitation. Her shoulder twitches inside my grip, and in the next instant I can feel her whole body go stiff as a blank. After a moment, I slowly open my mouth. Michiru's lips adhere to my natural part as well. Her eyes squeeze shut as if in pain. Michiru shakes her shoulders vigorously, apparently trying to squirm away and escape.
終わり。嫌だ。もういい。
And so the kiss ends. It only lasted a few seconds, but I'm getting the impression it felt a good deal longer to Michiru.
激しすぎるんですけど。
I believe kisses between romantic partners tend to go roughly along those lines.
シュって夏かと思った。
I see. Suppose it's my fault for not double checking first. Want a do-over?
いいです。もう大丈夫。怒ってないよ。
Nobody so much as hinted at that possibility, but Michiru denies it anyway, probably attempting to convince herself of something.
だってポッポだもんね。大丈夫。ところで明日はどこにデートしに行こうか。
What are you saying? The others should be coming back tomorrow. Since the idea behind these pretend dates was to kill time, they should no longer be necessary, correct?
ああ。そっか、そうだよね。暇つぶしだもんね。そうだね。そうよ。そうじゃない。何よ。何なのよ。
Oh, what's this? Pretty sudden attitude change. Has your Tsundere engine started up again?
やっとモーターのコイルが温まってきたところなのよ。そうよ。今までただの暇つぶしのごっこだったからもういらないわよね。
I'm not sure whether the girl's playing tough or really means that, but she does offer a convincingly ferocious glare.
ああ、まあまあの退屈しのぎにはなったわね。でもそれも今日でおしまい。明日からは私はいつもの生まれながらのツンデレに戻るわよ。
That effect? But tell me, Michiru.
様をつけなさいよ、この猫助が。にゃ
Why are you going after the cat instead of me? Also, you got the name wrong.
わかってるわよ。ニャーメルでしょ、ニャーメル。もういいのよ。ああ、やっとみんなが帰ってきてせいせいするわ。あんたと二人っきりなんて面白くなかったからね。って何よ。もっと何かこうないの。
Not really. Well, let's continue to maintain a mutually cordial acquaintance, my friends.
よろしくされたくなんてないけどされちゃうんだからね。それじゃあ私は部屋に帰るわ。絶対についてこないでよね。
With those words, Michiru stalks out of my room. Have to admit, her exceptionally abrupt change in attitude took me slightly by surprise, but I'm fairly sure I only spoke the truth. Our relationship was nothing but a role-playing fantasy, founded in fiction, not real feelings. I mean, that's the exact reason we were able to be together so easily, wasn't it? I have a feeling this is going to get messy. I lie down in my bed and heave a deep sigh. The scent of Michiru's artificial fragrance lingers on the tips of my fingers. It's a sweet and gentle smell, pleasant in its own way, but badly out of place in this dreary room. Okay, I will end it there. Bye.